astonishment in the Galactic Council until humanity left the talks and drew weapons. The crystalline spires of the Galactic Council chambers hummed with anticipation as representatives from 47 species gathered for what many considered the most crucial vote in millennia. Ambassador Kethvar of the Zephyrian Collective adjusted his ceremonial robes, his 4 eyes scanning the assembled delegates with barely concealed disdain. "The motion before us is clear," Kethvar announced, his voice resonating through the translation matrices. "The human species has proven themselves unfit for galactic citizenship. Their aggression, their primitive emotions, their inability to conform to civilized standards, all evidence points to one conclusion." Murmurs of agreement rippled through the assembly. The ethereal ascendancy's representative, a being of pure energy contained within a geometric prism, pulsed with approval. The insectoid hive mind delegates clicked their mandibles in unison, creating a staccato rhythm of consent. At the far end of the chamber, the human delegation sat in stoic silence. Ambassador Sarah Chen, her weathered face betraying no emotion, watched as species after species rose to condemn her people. The accusations were familiar, too violent, too unpredictable, too willing to fight when diplomacy was the galactic standard. "The humans," declared Speaker Voxtal of the Harmonic Convergence, his melodious voice carrying across the chamber, "have demonstrated time and again their inability to resolve conflicts through proper channels. When the Xerian pirates threatened trade routes, what did humanity do? They didn't petition the Council. They didn't seek mediation. They built warships and hunted them down like animals." More agreement echoed through the hall. Chen's jaw tightened almost imperceptibly. "And when the plague struck the outer colonies," continued another delegate, this one from the Philosophical Synthesis, "did humanity wait for the Council's Health Committee to convene? Did they follow proper quarantine protocols? No. They ignored all regulations and rushed medical aid to afflicted worlds, contaminating dozens of star systems with their reckless intervention." The accusations mounted like a judicial pyre. Humanity's refusal to let the Centauri genocide proceed through proper diplomatic channels. Their immediate response to the children's trafficking rings in the Vega sector instead of waiting for a committee to form. Their deployment of relief supplies to famine-struck worlds without requisite environmental impact studies. Each charge painted humanity as dangerously impulsive, unwilling to work within the careful, deliberate systems that had maintained galactic peace for 3,000 years. Ambassador Chen finally stood, her movement causing a hush to fall over the assembly. Her voice, when she spoke, was calm and measured. "Honored delegates," she began, "we came here today hoping to find understanding. We believe that our actions spoke to our character, not as warmongers, but as a people who cannot stand idle while others suffer." Kethvar's laugh was like breaking glass. "You speak of character? Your species has been in galactic society for barely 2 centuries, and already you've violated more protocols than species with 10 times your tenure. You act without thinking, fight without considering consequences, and refuse to accept that your primitive impulses have no place in civilized space." Chen nodded slowly. "You're absolutely right about one thing, Speaker Kethvar. We do act without thinking when children are being sold into slavery. We do fight without considering consequences when innocent people face genocide. And you're correct that we refuse to accept our place." She turned to face the full assembly. "We refuse to accept that proper procedure matters more than lives. We refuse to accept that committee meetings are more important than stopping atrocities. And we absolutely refuse to accept that civilization means watching evil flourish while paperwork is processed." The chamber erupted in outraged clicking, harmonizing, and energy pulsing. Kethvar raised his primary arms for silence. "Then you confirm our assessment," he declared triumphantly. "Humanity is indeed unfit for galactic society. The vote for expulsion? There won't be a vote, Chen interrupted, her voice cutting through the din like a blade. The ambassador reached into her formal diplomatic case and withdrew something that made several delegates recoil in horror. A simple paper document. "This is Article 7 of the Galactic Charter," she announced. "The right of any member species to withdraw from the Council with immediate effect." Kethvar's eyes narrowed. "You're bluffing. No species has ever voluntarily left the Council." Chen smiled for the first time that day, and it was not a pleasant expression. "Speaker Kethvar, your species has been part of galactic civilization for 8,000 years. In all that time, have you ever wondered why pirates don't attack your merchant fleets anymore? Why slave traders avoid your colonies? Why the plague that devastated the outer systems never reached your homeworld?" The chamber fell silent as understanding began to dawn on several faces. "For 200 years, Chen continued, humanity has been the galaxy's unwitting shield. While you debated proper responses to piracy, we hunted the pirates. While you formed committees to address trafficking, we freed the slaves. While you studied the plague, we found the cure and delivered it to every world that needed it." She sealed the document and placed it on the central podium. "But you're right. We don't belong in your civilized society. We're too crude, too direct, too willing to act when action is needed rather than when it's properly authorized." The human delegation rose as one, following their ambassador toward the chamber's exit. "Where are you going?" Kethvar demanded, his voice cracking with sudden uncertainty. Chen paused at the threshold. "Home, Speaker Kethvar. We're going home, and when the next crisis comes, and it will come, you'll handle it through proper channels. I'm sure your committees will reach a consensus eventually." As the humans departed, the council chamber fell into stunned silence. For 3,000 years, they had maintained peace through procedure, order through committees, and stability through endless deliberation. They had just voted out the only species willing to fight for that peace when talking failed. In the growing quiet, 46 civilized species began to contemplate a very uncivilized truth. Sometimes the galaxy needed barbarians more than it needed bureaucrats. The crystalline spires hummed with a different frequency now. Uncertainty, creeping across galactic civilization like a shadow. And in the darkness between stars, things that had learned to fear humanity began to remember what it felt like to hunt.